Hey guys, this is my very last Halloween episode. So I thought I'd share things that I consider to be very scary. Alright, so, granted, when I look at my life, I see there is quite a bit of few stories. I don't mean just spooky stories. Granted, I've seen strange things that I can't really quite explain, and, sometimes they make me feel like I'm a little whacked off, but let's face it, I'm a Scorpio, and probably am. But yeah, for today's episode, I wanted to talk about things that I personally find to be scary. To me, on a very serious note, the thing that scares me the most is the fact that there are individuals out there who are highly inconsiderate to other people's feelings. For example, there's a girl that I know. She's very sweet, very shielded, very, very guarded, right? And the first time I laid eyes on her, I read her like a book. That wasn't the problem. What I've seen and how she reacts to things, she's only just proven my point time and time again. And today she was crying because something probably inappropriate was said to her, which I wouldn't be surprised based on the circumstances. But what's scary to me is the fact that there are things that are said to individuals without consideration. There are things that are being done without the consideration of how it really affects the person. See, I was raised to treat people the way I would like to be treated. Generally, I like to leave people alone. Someone's got to give me credit for that. I generally try my best to treat another person the way that I would like to be treated. So, and of course, as you get older, you get better at it. I'm not saying I was always perfect, but that's just primarily how I was raised. So whenever I come across people who try to be hurtful, I actually struggle with comprehending it. Because my personal tribulations are not the fault of someone else's. Let's say if someone decided to, I don't know, rob me or something, and then that day I'm pissed off, so I decide to act like a bitch to the next person because I'm in a bad mood this whole week. That person has absolutely nothing to do with it. You know who has a person to do with it? The person who mugged me. Yeah, that would be an appropriate response to that individual. But there are people out there, if they're having a bad day, if they're upset about something, and they decide, you are the individual who will feel my wrath. And that's a scary thought. To know that you can look at one individual and realize, you know what, I can emotionally take advantage of them. I can do something hurtful. Or the fact that there are people out there who dislike another individual, and instead of just leaving them alone, they decide to do something that they think would hurt the individual. Now, whether it's true or not, what was the point? When you do things like that, you're actually saying more about your soul as an individual than you ever will say about that other person. In my personal experiences, I've been able to read and just smell out the people who do things that are like, yeah, that hurt her. And I'm like, I'm a Scorpio, I don't feel anything. I sting myself with my own poisons. Try me. I personally think that the scariest thing that there ever could be out there in the entire world is how people decide to treat each other. And as beautiful and as wonderful as it can be, and it should be, sometimes it's not. Hope you guys had a safe, happy Halloween. Hope you guys had some awesome costumes and was having a blast. Hope you guys got plenty of candy. I hate you kids who got all that candy that I couldn't get, but sure, whatever. But yeah, I know this episode's probably a little more serious than what I anticipated it to be, but that's actually honestly the truth. The scariest thing to me is how people treat each other. We could do better, guys. Happy Halloween! I wanted to be honest in what I really thought was actually the scariest thing, and it really is what people think of doing to each other, or even what they actually do to each other, what they say to each other. If I'm in a bad mood, I try my best to hold my temper because I know that this person doesn't have anything to do with it. Or I'll stop and let them know, listen, I know I may sound like I'm right now, but it has nothing to do with you. And I always want them to know. I want them to know you have nothing to do with why I'm in this mood. You have no idea. And trust me, it takes a lot for me to actually get agitated by an individual. It actually has to be something about that I care about, which would probably just be me. I mean, I'm an only child. I kind of have only child syndrome. Just saying. These are the little things that I think people don't think about enough, and they should. So yeah, that's my pointer on ending on Halloween night. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for subscribing, and tell me, what do you consider to be the most scariest thing? Whoop whoop!